This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids. What up, everybody? This is your boy Black Megas, and E3 is over. I just want to do some post E3 stuff. Haven't had time because of work and school. In fact, trying to run through these videos as quick as possible because school is awaiting me. I have homework. I just wanted to do a couple of videos about the aftermath of E3 and give my thoughts on certain things. So this one, we're just going to talk about what I thought of E3 overall. Overall, I enjoyed E3 this year. The conferences we're speaking about specifically. Yeah, I know a lot of people are giving a lot of flack to these companies about these conferences, which I can't. Like, there were some things that I really didn't care for, but as far as the content goes, E3 was great. We got a lot of stuff announced, talked about, even if some of that stuff isn't coming out anytime soon. The future of gaming and the near future is looking good too. It's like I didn't like the Bethesda conference. I just thought their presentation was just whack. Talked too much, corny ass jokes that I could have did without. Todd Howard was just way too self-indulgent in his like spiel over Fallout and things like that. And just overall, it was just a lot going on that definitely did not appeal to me. So yeah, beyond that, like, and some other things that bother me, I like what I saw. Like, starting off the first day, EA, I expected EA to be bad. It was, but they were extra disappointing only because Anthem wasn't what I was waiting for. At least, let me take that back. Not that Anthem's not what I was waiting for. It's just the presentation of Anthem wasn't what I was waiting for or expecting. I was expecting a lot more, and I felt like I didn't get much. Of course, as the week went on, and you started to get feedback from people who got hands-on and interviews with these developers, you got a better sense. But I feel like EA in their show, the whole EA Play thing, did a poor job of, I guess I could say, selling it to me, as well as just presenting the game overall. I would have really liked more from EA, but it is what it is. And then overall, everything else they showed, it was like you kind of expected that. FIFA, Madden, you got some Battlefield 5, NBA Live, yeah, it exists again, it's coming back, because the last one did well. Like ho-hum, the biggest thing for EA was the indie part where they talked to the guy who made Unravel 2 being out, and then Sea of Solitude. Her presentation was amazing. I really felt what she was saying. So that was the most interesting thing with EA. Flash forward to Sunday, Microsoft. A lot of people are killing the fuck out of Microsoft because it did not sell any Xbox Ones in their presentation. And you know what? You're right. This whole presentation, in the long run, did nothing to me for benefiting the Xbox One as a product of theirs. That being said, I said this when they made the announcement about we're doing PC and Xbox One with our exclusives. They have pretty much told you, we don't necessarily need you to get the box. The box is not the main feature. Yes, they say stuff like that, talking about how Xbox is the best brand to play and all that, but I need y'all to recognize that for Microsoft, the brand of Xbox is the important thing, not the actual piece of hardware itself. I know people disagree with me on this, and I was pleasantly surprised that Microsoft kind of proved me wrong when I was saying that I think this may be the last console generation for them, and they said that they are working on another console generation. I can make the caveat, of course, that I don't think it's going to be what you think it's going to be, like a regular Xbox iteration, and it's going to be another type of hybrid type thing where they're going to try to push the envelope somewhere other than the whole TV thing like they did in the beginning of this generation with the original Xbox One. At the same, At the same time, yes, it's going to be a box, so I acknowledge that. That being said, Microsoft's focus is the software, and they're trying to build the software and game services. They kept talking about Game Pass. They reiterated like some features that they're coming out with that'll be more accessible. They're are adding more things to the library, and they made sure to mention that we're trying to build a cloud service. That box, that piece of hardware that sits in your living room, that's not important to Microsoft. And so they did not do anything to sell the Xbox because their goal is not to sell Xboxes anymore. Their goal is to sell that brand and to keep people tied into their ecosystem by the software. And that with the fact that you can get everything on PC keeps you attached to Microsoft, because you have to go to them for certain titles. And it's like, they're coming up with all these studios and things like that. Those studios aren't for the box. I still think that Microsoft is going back to their original PC dedicated platform. And with the talk about putting stuff on different devices, different platforms, talking about how you'll be able to play games anywhere. They're trying to merge like the Apple philosophy of we got a good enough piece of hardware with our like mobile devices that you can game on and do everything on. Like I said it before when this generation started, the Xbox One's original idea was probably to be this everything in one box that sits in your living room. Bill Gates has talked about this like before, even before he left Microsoft and just became part of the board members. His whole vision was to have you tied into this Windows ecosystem where you do everything that you need through one device or a family of devices that are all tied into Windows and connected. This is what Microsoft is trying to pull their gaming division into, to where you don't need it. It's like, look at Office 365, look at the way they do Windows now. Microsoft doesn't need that damn box. They just need you to have a device where they can sell their brand. Because again, you can already get their games now on PC. Why do you need to buy an Xbox if you want to play the games? And most people are leaning towards the PC side of gaming anyway, so it behooves them to just make sure they get that foothold and make sure they get this cloud service thing and all that in order, so they can be ready for when they're ready to finally separate. And I still feel that's going to be their thing. But to say that it was bad because they didn't necessarily do anything that made you want to run out and buy an Xbox One X is ludicrous, because they showed a lot of great games, a lot of great content. There's a lot of stuff to play out there under the Xbox brand, be it you on PC or the console itself. So they did a good job as far as I was concerned. Then of course, I talked about Bethesda a little bit already. That was not a great presentation, but the stuff that they show, you're getting another Doom. They made Quake Champions free. You can play that. They're going to show more on Doom at QuakeCon. You're getting a Fallout game this year. It's not a traditional Fallout game, but it's an online Fallout game where you can play with friends, which seems pretty dope. They acknowledge that yes, there will be another Elder Scrolls. They're working on it now. You're getting content for Prey. And you're getting a new IP from them as well. So again, their presentation, the way that they did things, wasn't cool. It wasn't really feeling the Skyrim thing with Kingdom Key. It wore too long. A lot of the jokes wore too long. But content-wise, they had some pretty interesting stuff out there for you guys to grab onto. So, Rage 2, all that. Cool. Then we go to the big Monday, quote unquote, where you got who led off first? I think it was Ubisoft who led off first. We had a really good conference to me. You saw like a lot of things that they showed you already knew about, but you kind of saw where they were at and where they were progressing. Got more information. Skull and Bones actually looks pretty damn entertaining. I'm still kind of skeptical, but it looks more inviting. They're continuing supporting games that people called Left 4 Dead when they first came out, such as For Honor and Rainbow Six Siege. Those two games have built thriving communities and have especially with Rainbow Six Siege, become staples of esports and competitive gaming. So good on them. Crew 2 didn't really pay attention that much to them, but they're still supporting the Crew, so you know they still find that as a viable property. Yeah, that what was it called? Star Killer or Star something? It didn't look that great, but that's cool. Yeah, Ubisoft did their thing. Then you go to Square. Yes, I understand. It was a 22-minute infomercial that they could have fucking saved. That being said, stuff that they showed in that 22-minute infomercial was pretty interesting. You know, the crossover between Monster Hunter and Final Fantasy 14 and new content for Final Fantasy 14. You got a little bit more. And it's funny. It's weird how like progressively as E3 went, they progressively showed more on Kingdom Hearts 3. It's like the same trailer, but they would just show like an extra minute or two in each of the following press conferences, which I found hilarious. But you know, people got that. They have a new IP. Gosh, what is it? Called Quiet Man. It looks interesting. You know, they had interesting stuff. It wasn't a waste of time if you were sitting there anticipating, waiting to see what they were going to do, and you were expecting a traditional conference-like thing. But they did good as far as content, and I think that's the running theme that you get from this, is that yeah, their presentations may not have been what you wanted or expected or how you thought they should have been, but content wise these shows were pretty much all strong. Again, go from Square PC gaming show. I didn't watch that really, but I did see some things. I don't remember the names, but I saw a lot of things that looked interesting. Again, content. They had good content. Go to the big, quote unquote, the big show, Sony. It was not a good presentation because they threw things off with that whole come into the tent, watch The Last of Us, then we take a 15-minute break so we can get everybody in the main theater, and then we're just going to show trailers. Now, a lot of people are like, yo, all you did was show trailers, that's a waste of time. Why are we sitting here wanting them to waste time talking and giving us hyperbole? I don't need that. I don't need man on stage trying to tell me how great his game is to figure out whether or not I'm going to like something. When you show me the content and show me what the game is about and give me a basic idea of what it's about, that's fine. I'm good with that. I didn't need the traditional show and all the histrionics that we've had in the past. It's fine for them to do that, especially since they said they were going to focus on 4 main games and they kept to that promise. And not only did they focus on them, they showed significant gameplay for the most part for all 4 of those games. Like Ghost of Tsushima has skyrocketed to a must-have on my list because of what they did. Without the talking, the hyperbole, they just played the fucking game. And you know, sure, it wasn't live gameplay, but still, they showed how the game plays. That game looks awesome. Spider-Man, I've already was hyped on that. I'm 100% sold on Spider-Man. Actually, I'm 300% sold after that demo of the gameplay. That shit looks awesome. The Last of Us 2 looked amazing. The only thing that I would say would be questionable for me, myself, would be, of course, Death Stranding, because I still don't know what the fuck that game is about. Why does that game exist, and what is its purpose? Somebody, please, for the love of fucking God, let me know. Holy shit, Kojima, I don't understand why people deify you so much. They deified the fuck out of this man, and I don't know why, because when it comes to this game, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I do need to go back and play all the Metal Gear and find out what's this genius I'm missing, because I got people on my timeline during the show talking about, we thank you in advance for this greatness that you're giving me and all. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this greatness? I don't even know what this greatness is about. Get the fuck out of here. But you know, for the most part, it was solid. And then they dropped some things that you didn't think that were going to be there in the form of trailers, like the Resident Evil 2 thing. The fact that Remedy is now a multi-platform publisher, and that we are getting a Remedy game and Control, things like that. Sony's show was really, really good to me. It was solid. It was quick. They got to business. They got to the point. Boom. We out of here. Deuces. Hope you like what you saw. I like what I saw. That's all I needed. And that was just the running theme of E3. It's like, you got a lot of the things that were shown on the floor and the interviews and things like that. If you wanted, I guess, the more quote-unquote traditional E3. method of doing things, but I feel like the conferences were done perfectly these years, because I think we're beyond certain things in gaming, or at least I think the industry itself has matured beyond those things. If gamers have, that's another story. That's a whole nother video right there in itself. But overall, I enjoyed the hell out of E3. I enjoyed what I saw. I see a lot of things that I'm interested in purchasing. A lot of things that, while I'm not 100% sure, I'm looking forward to seeing more about. So that's what it should do. It should leave you being excited about being a gamer, and it left me being excited about being a gamer. So I don't know about you guys, but I was cool with this year's E3. But anyway, sound off in the comments and let me know what you think. As always, hit me up, let me know what you think, and I'll holler at you later. It's your boy Black Megas, and I'm out. Deuces.